Good morning. I just finished attending Vera's recognition event in school. Since they're very particular into keeping their scholars' health and safety post-pandemic, they still don't allow in-person events where parents would go there and attend an actual event. So they did a virtual type of event and we have to dial in. They kind of gave us a briefing on what we're supposed to do. So when it's your kid's turn, you're supposed to cheer for your kid while being in a Zoom meeting. And I think the kids are seeing the screen live. They would be seeing their parents' faces as if we're there. And then at the same time, the school is recording the actual virtual event or the Zoom meeting. So it was funny because for no reason, I don't know why my old iPad didn't really have a screen record app. I think I forgot to do that. What I did was a manual thing. I took my Huawei phone and I just the old school recording of the video that anything that's seen on the screen, I was recording it with a phone. And then since the fifth graders are the last portion of the awardees, I was tinkering on my other device and I was like, oh, my other device has a screen record capture, my Note Ultra. So while I was waiting for Vera's turn, I activated the screen record feature and then I dialed in on the same Zoom meeting using the other phone. But this time, since my iPad is in total volume, I had to lower down the volume or actually mute the one in Note Ultra when I dialed in so as to avoid feedback because they're very close to each other in proximity. What happened was, since I had to unmute myself when it was Vera's turn, of course my head would just pop up on the screen and my intent was to capture the Vera moment of her receiving an award and the principal on stage. A good thing I had the other device was capturing also the entire thing that's going on without putting my face in there popping up while I was cheering for my kid. Vera, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Mommy's so proud of you. Congratulations. I was doing that, mommy thing. So the downside is when one device doesn't have an audio, the other one has an audio and a video. The thing that I captured in Note Ultra doesn't have an audio in it. The one in the iPad has audio in it. So I think later on, when I try to edit it, I will just combine both audio and the clips that I managed to record on the other device. It was good. It was a brief event. And then the meeting went on right after that, where the administration was informing the parents on their initiatives for the succeeding months and their action plan post-COVID. It was like a PTA meeting in which I was never active because I don't want to be involved in politics. But it was good, even if Vera is in her last year of school. I was able to listen to their initiative. They're really doing a good job in keeping the school very learner-centric, even during and post-pandemic. They transition pretty much smoothly back to the classrooms. And right now, they're considering a lot of innovation that is going on in New York City schools to implement in their school. I think they got government funding for a 3D printer, making their STEAM subjects more on a practical side. Instead of just a regular STEAM program where they talk about physics, math, architecture, they are now making the kids hands-on in creating designs, for example, like bridges. It will make the entire learning process more experiential, meaning they can design things, they can do like a maker's lab, so that will benefit the younger kids because I think it will be implemented next year. And then they have a proposal in reforming the history program, making it more chronological because the kids doesn't have a time perspective. Most of the time when they're trying to take on history, they would just randomly pick on civics topics, like for example, Chinese civilization, and then suddenly they will jump the next semester into Native American tribes. So there's no perspective on the sequence. So they wanted to make the kids understand the sequence of events, what transpired before the Civil War, what happens next. So they wanted the kids to understand the chronological order of history. So they wanted to make it sequential, which makes sense. And they mentioned that they will convert all levels of their floors into like a museum and will be like exposing different social sciences. So ayun, at the latter part, when they were asking for any comments, I really didn't have any questions at all. I just took the time to appreciate and be grateful to the school because they really did a wonderful job during the pandemic. And then they were like announcing on the state test dates, which I was already aware of. So that was the scope of the meeting.